ASMR. Seated down, not even all the way inside of my closet yet. This is not the intro for the video that you're about to watch. It's more of like a pre-intro for the video that you're about to watch. Just a couple of housekeeping items, first of all. That's Rumble. Say hi, Rumble. That's the other cat that you guys have not met yet who hangs out in my apartment behind the scenes. He's a big boy. He's a full grown man. But really quickly, before I start the video, you're gonna wonder what is on the microphone, and that is batting, even though I refer to it in the video as interfacing, and even though, as you already know based on the previous video posted on my channel, it is batting, but I called it interfacing, and it's what I was using as the D.I.Y mic cover that you guys already know that I destroyed and found out made a really great sound, and there's a video of that on my channel if you want to check it out. So that's the batting that I was using before I got this mic cover, indicating that this is an old video. Yes, this is the original second video that I tried to film for this channel, and it required some editing, so there's some rough cuts in there. I'm just starting to learn. It's actually the first video that I edited, so hopefully it's not too bad. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Also, when I was scrubbing through the video to make sure I didn't forget to cut out any sounds that were too loud, just listening back through, I shouted out my friend Zach at the end. I realized I should have done that at the beginning, especially for the second one on my channel. Zach is a dear friend of mine who's super encouraging when it comes to, you know, still uploading and getting involved in the community. So I figured if I was gonna say it, I should have said it, hopefully before somebody would have fallen asleep as a result of the video, because this is also going to be my first longer upload since I was able to clip together 2 pieces of film after my camera cut me off. So look forward to longer videos in the future. I upgraded my internet to a different service provider that has basically just a better package in my area. It's kind of limited, but I got better internet. There is a video rendering on my laptop in the other room as we speak. Another one that I edited that'll be going up after this video. The only other thing, at one point in this video, I was talking about the original first favorite ASMR artist of mine, and I failed to mention Whispers Unicorn. She fits perfectly in that group, and I figured, like I said, as I was listening back through, if I was gonna mention it, I might as well mention it, so I wanted to throw that in there, and I think that's everything. But thanks for watching, you guys. Hopefully you enjoy this little look back on my progress over what's really been honestly the last 2 weeks, but I'm excited. I hope that you're excited, but hopefully now you'll relax and go to sleep. Okay, bye. Enjoy the video. Bye. Say bye, Rumble. Hello. Welcome back to my ASMR channel. My name is LTQ ASMR, and I'm hopefully going to be here to provide you some relaxation this evening. I know that many of you have probably never ever seen one of my videos before, and that is because this is only video number 2. Not 1, but 2. Not 3, but 2. Just 2. Done 1, then I did 2. Only 2. If this ever ends up getting uploaded and seeing the light of day, then it will be video number 2. And it's been a long time since I've recorded. There's several reasons for that I can kind of get into, but I don't know if it's really worth it. But since I uploaded my last video, I've gotten a new job. I live in the same place with the same busy city, the same frequency of sound. So that's always a struggle. So just the transitions that I've been going through lately haven't allowed me as much time as I would have hoped to have had by now to kind of just learn more about better ways that I can try to minimize the sound pollution that I'm dealing with, because or suggestions for me, or if you like this pop filter that I created. I actually did order one from Amazon, because let me backtrack a little bit here. I'm recording this video during the 2020 cuddle bug. I heard that on YouTube they're kind of like shadow banning content that talks about I gotta fix my posture. Fix my posture. Tell me if this bracelet is too noisy in the comments below. I like to have a stack of bracelets. Ever since I was in middle school, when my mom gave me this one. I've been wearing that one like every day, and I never really take it off unless there's some reason that I have to. And then my dad took a trip to China. Listen, it was like, it's crazy because the cuddle bug kind of originated from that part of the world. This time, the same time last year that he had gone on his trip the year prior, so just, anyway, he got me this jade bracelet and I added it to my little stack, and then there was a third bracelet that, I'd said something like, love the life you live, one direction, you read it, and then the other, like reciprocal, it was flipped, and then it, you know, love the life you live, live the life you love, just something kind of cute and positive. But it was one of those like metal bracelets that kind of just like fold around your wrist, and I fidget with it so much that eventually it broke and it just fell off. And then I was like, I need a third pack, and I've tried a couple of different bracelets to be like the new third, and I ended up finding rather this old third to add to the stack. I don't know if you can see it. I actually got that in Greece. I don't recall which island I was on. I think it was in Delphi, but I took a trip to Greece a couple of years back. It's actually one of the most beautiful places I've ever visited. But people spend more time there someday. I'd love for my videos to reach somebody in Greece one day. That'd be really cool as well. But what was I even saying? Oh, but anyway, this is the one that I ended up adding to my stack because I was finding something to make a pendant out of to put in this ear. Because I wanted to get an orbital piercing a while back, and my piercer gave me a conch piercing, and it's not the same, and you can't wear the same jewelry, and it's kind of just a hassle, and I was trying to find something that I could wear in there. It's not related to this, not really at all. I forgot what I was talking about entirely at the start of this video. That even got me off on this tangent, so I'm just gonna make a ramble video today. Just a ramble. But I'm just hoping that this bracelet isn't going to be too noisy. I think that's kind of what I was talking about, just trying to find ways to deal with the sound pollution and trying to take advantage of this time that I have because of the cuddle bug. Because a lot of people are working from home and people aren't supposed to be gathering right now, so a lot of the sound is mitigated at the moment. It's mitigated. But no, I am still recording at night. It's very late at night right now. I'm not quite sure what time of night it is, but it is late. It's late. I had gone to Sunset Cliffs, which is located in California, which is where I am located, this evening to go see the bioluminescent plankton. Still social distancing. Everybody who was there, who wasn't, who hadn't arrived together, was still staying far away from one another, and you have to wear masks. Right now, you have to wear a mask over your face to cover in case you cough. Cover your face. What? But anyways, you have to wear it to cover your face when you go outside. And everyone had those on. you may have seen that I had taken down all of the clothes from my closet to kind of like give a cleaner background. And what I had done actually instead was I had taken like two trifold poster boards, like those like trifold like middle school science fair like poster board presentation boards, and then I ordered some very cheap, like very cheap, inexpensive, what would you call it? Like that acoustic foam. I ordered some very cheap acoustic foam on Amazon, and I don't think it really worked at all. I'm gonna move a tiny bit. But what I had done is I was taking those boards and I stacked them up one on top of each other. I had glued some acoustic foam to each of them in the hopes that it would kind of help with the noise. I don't think it worked, and I don't think that it was really worth the effort. And I'm not really fond of making too much effort. I'm not really a big fan of making too much effort. So, and I mean, I had turned the light off in here, and I was trying to use, like, I don't even know, to light the video to try to keep it a little bit darker and just be a little bit more relaxing, hopefully, but I don't think it really ended up working out that way, and that's fine. But long story short, I just figured that if I'm gonna take the time to try to make these videos, you know, to hopefully bring some relaxation or just something, you know, for anybody who's gonna watch this or anybody who even does end up watching it. If I was gonna make the video, I didn't want to be stressed making it, because that definitely comes across. I know that in my last video, I was definitely kind of exasperated, kind of stressed out, kind of not thinking that this was gonna be something I was ever gonna figure out or get sorted. So I thought, for the sake of anybody who does end up watching this video, and for myself as well, it's probably best if I just keep it simple, keep it to the skill set that I have at the moment when it comes to recording and when it comes to my resources. Like, for example, the person walking on the steps that you can probably most definitely hear right now. But I figured that I would leave the clothes up, my clothes in my closet, because I mean, worst things worst, having the extra fabric there is just going to provide hopefully some sort of layer of sound isolation, and if not, it's just kitschy. We'll call it part of my charm. Here I am in my closet. But this jacket, I think it would make some good sounds. So maybe I can kind of like mess with that while I talk. That pop filter that I made looks so ridiculous. But I did purchase one on Amazon, and it is being sent over. It's gonna take a moment because it is not an essential item, but it's okay. I got one of the regular like foam covers, what are they called? And then I got one of the fuzzy microphone covers as well that I'm pretty excited about, because I know I'm like a huge fan of those fuzzy microphone covers when I see them in videos. But I was thinking maybe the mic could pick up the sound of the clothes, like this fabric is maybe good. Also behind me I have like two black trash bags. I don't know if you can see that. Black trash bags. And what those are full of, I'm gonna move again. I'm gonna mute this just for a second, just a tiny second. Alright, I didn't like that position as much. I'm just gonna move to sit here. But what is in these black trash bags over here? That is actually some upholstery cushioning from one of the projects. Now I'm not even grabbing the upholstery cushioning. Now I'm grabbing the bag that my bridesmaid dress is in for my best friend's wedding, which also had to be postponed thanks to the cuddle bug. So I'm very much looking forward to a chance to wear that that dress. But anyway, what I have inside the black bag is actually, I don't know if you can see that. That green, it's upholstery. It's upholstery cushioning because I have like a window seat in my apartment and I'm making a bench cushion for it, and also a back cushion and 2 side cushions, which I've already almost entirely completed, but I'm quick to lose interest in things. I have just a closet full of half-finished projects behind me. That's where I got this interfacing from. That's what this fabric is called. It's called interfacing, and I was using it as part of my upholstery project to just add cushioning, and so I have so much of it, and it's not a foam, but it's kind of thick, so I thought maybe I could see if it would work out. I also got this. And this is or was rather, it's a hand sanitizer. It says 91% alcohol, aloe vera, lavender essential. Because another thing that is very scarce right now, due to the cuddle bug, is I didn't come up with cuddle bug, by the way, in case anybody thinks that I did. Let me just say that that clever little way of getting around the shadow banning. I heard dear Mr. Atheist saying that I watch his channel a lot. I really enjoy his videos. I think they're very educational and they're good for harm reduction. It's important content. Anyway, he said that on his channel, and I thought that was a good way around it. So I bookmarked it in my mind because I knew I wanted to try to make another video. Anyway, so one thing that's scarce right now is hand sanitizer. So one of my mom's friends made this, and mostly I've used it all so much because it smells good, but I happen to have a little bit of alcohol myself, and some lavender oil, so I've been kind of refilling it on my own. The alcohol that I have is not quite a strong percentage, but I'm doing well about staying inside and alone, so I think I'll be alright. But I just wasn't sure if it would pick up that sound, but I can try to refill it. Just with some of the water that I have here. If you're wondering what my setup is right now, by the way, I am recording on my phone. I have an Android phone, which doesn't really have an open sourced camera application on like factory default application, so anyway, so I have to download a different camera that is an open source camera, funnily enough, called Open Camera. And let's see if I can do this without spilling. Nope. Okay, well, I tried. Can't blame a girl for trying. What was I saying? Oh, so you have to download another camera application called Open Camera, and what that one basically allows you to do, I'm sure that you sacrifice some camera quality. I don't know. How do I look, you guys? Look good. I'm sure that you sacrifice some camera quality in order to record via this application instead, but it allows you to use an external microphone, such as the Blue Yeti here. So I then plug the Blue Yeti into my my camera. I have my camera set up on a little tripod that I got from Amazon, and then I am sitting in my closet. My closet actually has two steps, not one, but two, not one, but two, not two, yes, two, not three. I can't count. Maybe that's why Grace V does that and I don't. But there's two steps up to my closet. I could just show you. I could just angle this. But there are two steps leading up to my closet, and so I climb in here, and then I have a milk crate with honestly a really great blanket on here. My picante spicy blanket, and my, not sponsored, but could you imagine? Anyways, I put the milk crate in front of me so that I can put all of my stuff on it. All my ASMR accoutrement. I don't know why I can't stop making stupid faces. I'm just not used to being on camera. But I have it propped up so that the open portion of it is facing this way towards me, so that I can stack stuff inside of it to basically keep it from toppling over. And I really like this rock. I think it's a great rock. I mean, you would have to agree, I'm pretty sure. So just carefully examine this for me, from all sides. Right, and then, right, because, you know, so it's a great rock. I found this rock in the desert when my friends and I went out there, I think last year, to see the super bloom, which is another thing that we are missing out on this year thanks to the cattle block. That's something that also happens around this time of year in the Anza-Borrego deserts out here, and we were on social distancing when it happened, so didn't get to see it this year, but I found this rock. This is such a good rock, you know. I put stuff on it. I actually keep this out, and a Hello Kitty sits on it with two little Beanie Baby mice in front of her. One of them is the first ever Beanie Baby that I ever got, and his name is Mimi, and my card is also named Mimi now. I drive a Mini Cooper, and it is named Mimi. And then the second one is just another Beanie Baby iteration of Mimi, but like a newer one. Also have a very flat head. Very good at balancing things on top of my head. It's a skill set of mine. And then this rock, it's like nice and flat also, so you can just keep on stacking. You can tell it's very late at night because I'm losing it. So that's one of the things that's back here keeping this from toppling over is my rock. It's a good rock. And then I believe like 99.8% elementally pure bismuth ingots. And how freaking cool are these? They're really heavy, so it's hard for me to hold them even like this far out of my face, what? Away from my face, toward the camera. But how freaking cool is that? And the reason why I have this, I actually originally purchased 8 pounds of it from a website called rotometals.com, where you can find stuff like that. And I purchased it because you can melt bismuth down on your stovetop. It has a very low melting point. And it's non-toxic. You should obviously do this if you are going to do it in a very well ventilated area. I do it on a camping stove outdoors.
just take it, and then you just skim off the top. You just skim it right off the top. And then what you can do, it's so cool because after you skim off the top layer, you'll see like an iridescent rainbow. Just really cool because it depends on the temperature of the air, I believe, when the bismuth hit contact with it, or the other way around, vice versa, I'm not sure, but basically when bismuth solidifies, it does so in a rainbow like gradient, and it also solidifies in a crystalline structure. So right now, if you have it and it's in an ingot form, it's like super cool, and it's all brittle like that, and then it's just silver. But then when you melt it down and then you purify it, and then you can cast crystals. It has this cubical crystalline structure, and then it's fucking rainbow. Excuse my language. I got really excited over this, but it's so cool. But no, it's a rainbow, and it's so cool. But it's very difficult to actually get the crystals. I've been trying before. I made one that you can kind of pour the molten bismuth into a crucible, and then wait for crystals to form around the outside, and then pour the molten center out and kind of get like a fake geode. There's videos online of people doing that. There's some really great resources on YouTube about bismuth. That's how I know about it all. And I didn't heat my crucible enough when I tried that. I was doing it on my glass top stove indoors the first time that I did it. This was way back in the day when I had roommates. And it broke my crucible because I didn't heat it up enough. It split straight in half and all the bismuth poured out. And you can always remelt it to try it again. That's what's so like cool about it to me. But the way that it melted and the way that it broke was also kind of cool. And I was gonna have to let it cool down before I could touch it anyway. And it turns out that it didn't stick to the glass stove, and I was able to just kind of lift it all off, and it looked cool the way that it was. So I made like an art. Actually, I can get it literally right outside. That was a lot. So it's got cat hair on it. Excuse the cat hair. So basically, I wanted to pour it into this crucible, which should have been a material that was heat-proof enough to handle it. It is ceramic. It was a high-quality ceramic tea cup. I just had spares, and it split right down the middle and then around its base, and then it all sprayed out, and it's tarnished now. So in person, if you kind of like wiggle it around, you can see the multiple colors. On camera, you're really only getting like some blues and purples and like maybe a bit of yellow. But it's in person, it is still pretty tarnished now because it's been years. I don't know if that was something that just happens with bismuth, or I just didn't do very good of a job purifying it the first time. But regardless, I think that this is cool, and I just keep it leaning up against my wall. I stained this little piece of wood that I got from Home Depot, and then I just slapped it on there. I just slapped it right on there. Anyway, so that was what I have, just holding down this thing. I set this down quietly, actually, just 1 second. So yeah, that was really the other thing that I had in there, was just the bismuth to kind of hold it down. And then the only other thing that I kind of brought in the closet with me today was obviously knitting needles and yarn, because I thought the knitting needles might make like a nice sound, but I got so distracted by talking to you guys that I never even got started with casting on some stitches for me to like work on something. But I can still do that. It's not like probably gonna be the best sounds, but I'll get a little time knitting for you guys. I'll try to be quiet for a bit, and then hopefully we can find out if you can even hear much of this, or if it's are sliding off of my face because it's so hot in here. I'm like sweating. It's gross. What can you do? What can you do? I'm not editing this video either because, for one, I don't know how to, and I just don't feel like it. So there's that too. There's that too. Like using my teeth to do this, it's not how you're supposed to. Now I'm not talking at all because I got all focused on this. Like I forgot I was even filming a video at all for a second there. I forget to do some like inaudible whispering while I tried to turn things on anyway. Do you guys like inaudible whispering? I like inaudible whispering. Like inaudible whispering is probably my favorite, so maybe I'll just kind of like do that. Like get that set up here. Do a little bit of like basically talk to myself. I get this guy on stitches. Because it starts with 10. 10 on each echo. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, okay. This is how I start out my knitting. There are a total of 5 needles. You start with 1 and then you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stitches. Cast on to the first needle, then you add your second needle and you cast on another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stitches, and then you get your next needle and you cast on another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stitches, and then you get your next needle and it's another 10 stitches, although I think I did 11 on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, I did 10. Oh, good for me. Okay. And then what you do, so you have your 4 needles, and then this is going to be your working needle. So we're done casting on now. Not that this is a tutorial, but then you're going to get these into a square. And the easiest way that I think of doing that is going like this, and then going like this, and going like that, right? But it gets confusing. So, what I like to do is take this needle and turn it this way, and then get the next one around, because basically you need like this braided portion to always be in the center. So that's what I set up first. And it's easy if while you're doing this, all of your 10 stitches are kind of in the center of each of your 4 needles. So let me do that first. And then this is like nearly impossible to do in the air, so hopefully you can just listen to the sound of the needles tinkling around for a second while I get this organized. Just in a second. A quick little bit of squishing that around and getting it set up properly. that you just brought onto this needle and then off of it, so that now they're stuck. Basically, they're interlocked. We just switched one over onto the other and locked them together. So now it's all, it doesn't matter, this is not a tutorial. Basically, it is at that point that you can just start knitting around and around and around and around and around. And you do have options with that. You can just start knitting on around, or you can start knitting with a different type of pattern that will give you kind of like a little bit of elasticity with the brim of your whatever you're making. Whenever I'm knitting with 4 needles, I'm just making a beanie. So I like to start with that pattern that gives you that little bit of elasticity in the brim of the hat. So the way that that begins is with a forward stitch. And a forward stitch is going to go into the front with a working yarn in the front. So you go this way through the front, and then you go around the front of the needle, and then you bring it through and off of the loop. So you'll bring it through and off of the loop. Now you got 5 needles that you're working with, and you're going to switch the yarn from the front to the back, because the next stitch is going to be a back stitch, and it goes in the back of the needle. And then you knit yarn over and bring it around, and then you switch the yarn back over to the front, and then you knit through the front again, yarn over, and then bring it off. But yeah, I'm gonna bring it back around again. So tell me if you can hear that if I knit. I can't do this with these freaking glasses falling off of my face. Can't really see without them either, though. It's a catch-22. I think I just blew a spit bubble. Did you guys see that? It's classy. Oh, it looks so weird now without my glasses on. I've also gained like 20 pounds during the quarantine, so during the cuddle bug, I should say. So that might have something to do with it. But anyways, you'll notice that this is now a loose needle. So every time you transfer over all 10 of those stitches onto your working needle, the needle that you transferred them from now becomes your new working needle, if that makes sense. So then we move over to the next one, and again, always keep the 10 stitches in the center of the needle when you're not working on it. When you are working on it, you'll need to bring it up to the front. Same with this yarn. You're always going to start the needle with a front stitch if that is the pattern that you are copying, and as long as you have even number of stitches on each needle, which you will need to if this is the pattern that you're going to choose, because it has to alternate. So keep that in mind. Not again that this is a tutorial, because if that's what you came here for, or if you got to this part of the video, paused, grabbed your knitting equipment, and came to sit back down with me, I apologize, but this ain't it, sis. If you do want that though, that would be kind of fun maybe. So, let me know. I like knitting. I've actually been knitting for a lot of years. A lot of years. I started in elementary school. actually taught myself how to knit using 2 needles. I don't think that it was for Girl Scouts, even though I was in Girl Scouts and like very dedicated to Girl Scouts. But I think I just wanted to be able to make stuff because I already knew how to sew. My mom taught me how to sew when I was little because it's an important skill. And we would make clothes for our teddy bears. That's how you would like practice sewing, is by making clothes for our teddy bears. So I remember that the first time that I ever knit, it was with 2 needles. It was 2 needles, and I tried, I should say, to knit a headband. And I didn't know anything about knitting on a round at that time, so I was just gonna like knit a strip and then sew the 2 ends of the strip together to make the band, which like that's what I did. And I kept losing stitches and then picking them back up throughout the pattern, so it was not an even strip. It was all wonky. It was just not good. The tension wasn't even throughout the pattern either, and it was just a mess. But I finished it, and I definitely wore it. I definitely did wear that headband. It was made out of this just very basic lime green yarn, which definitely was not the correct yarn weight for the needles that I was using either, because I mean the needles that I must have been using would have had to have been like at least a 10 millimeter, probably like an 11 millimeter or more, which is a larger one that I'm using today. This is a 6 millimeter needle that I have today, so I was definitely using a much more beginner, much more chunky needle. And with those needles, you actually need to buy a different weight of yarn. The yarn that I have today is a 6 millimeter weight yarn. It's basically a thinner yarn. It's also not the type of yarn that you would want to use if you were new to knitting, because it's 2 pieces of very, very frayed and shaggy yarn, and that just gets in the way. It's really confusing. And then the way that it's twisted around one another, you'll oftentimes pick up only one of the twisted pieces and not both, and then it looks like you're working with 2 separate loops when you're only working on the same one. And that's how you end up adding stitches to a pattern and getting yourself confused. So this is definitely not the type of yarn you would want to use if you were a beginner. I don't even like working with this type of yarn, and I'm not a beginner. I find it gets stuck to my hands, all the little frizzy bits, because I'm like sweaty, and that's kind of gross, but that's annoying, because like if you're knitting with clammy hands and then you're getting all this like lint all over you, that's irritating as heck. And then the issue with there being like the 2 twisty bits, and it's confusing to try to work with it, and I really only enjoy using this yarn for like pom-poms. I keep it on hand for that, but I do really enjoy shopping for yarn, so I will buy yarn if it's pretty, but it's not something that I would like to work with. I'll still get it. This isn't even the yarn that I was looking for tonight. There was a really beautiful yarn that was only in a 6 millimeter weight when I could find it, because I don't really like making beanies with 6 millimeter. It just takes longer because it's smaller. With a bigger needle and heavier weight yarn, it takes less time because it's bigger, it's thicker, it builds up faster. But I wanted to, since I was going to knit for this video anyway, get trucking along with a beanie for myself made out of this really beautiful yarn that I could only find in a 6 millimeter. But when I went to go grab my stuff for the video tonight, guess which yarn I couldn't find? It's just crazy, right? I don't know. It's like the second time I've done a Grace V thing in this video, because I love her videos. I absolutely adore her videos. She is one of my favorites ASMR artists. Her and Mia ASMR and Lioness Whispers ASMR are pretty much my 3 go-to at the moment. way that I listen to ASMR. I go through phases. Like, when I first found the whisper community, it was back when we did refer to each other as the whisper community, and I would like zoom around YouTube all night long, not even really so much concerned about finding a video that would make me sleep, because I was so excited to have found the videos, you know, because I was stressed, I was anxious, and I had just had these random experiences throughout my life with like whispers that seemed to relax me. So I had googled sound of whispering, and then I found the whisper community, and I was so relieved. This amazing resource that I had now. So I got so excited, and I would just watch all kinds of videos just to like finally being able to understand what it was that I was experiencing in the first place, you know, because up to that point I had noticed that I had ASMR, of course, by watching Bob Ross, as most people do. And then I thought, okay, so maybe it's something having to do with painting. And then the next time I remember really experiencing ASMR was during a winter arts program that we did in my elementary school that teachers would be the volunteer hosts of. And we had a pretty lazy volunteer dad during the year that we did Monet. So he would just play a lot of videos. And one of the videos that he had played for us was very boring. It was like a very, very, very boring video, slow and being narrated by just a bunch of old people, like very, you know, I'm sure established and prestigious within their respective fields, industries, careers, whatever, what have you. But let's just say what it was. They were like old people talking about art, like probably art critics, art collectors, whatever's. And their voices were giving me crazy ASMR. So I was like, okay, maybe it definitely has to do with painting, right? And then also old people. Because I would notice, you know, like sometimes old guys will have whistly voices. So their I can't do it, but their S's kind of have that whistly sound. Well, I would notice that I would really get ASMR intensely when one of the old guys would do like a whistly sounding S. So I was like, okay, maybe it's painting and art related, and it's also S sounds when spoken by old people. Like, that was my understanding of ASMR up until like age 8. I even remember walking through a mall with my mom once when I randomly brought it up. I was like, hey mom, do you ever get like tinglies when old people are talking? And she probably thought it was something really strange, and she shut it down. I was like, okay, definitely just me, and I definitely shouldn't talk about it. But it definitely helped me, you know, it's a relaxing feeling. And I was having a really bad time one night, and when I was around like age like 12, 13, and I happened to find the whisper community. And so, like I said, I was just spending so much time learning what other triggers I enjoyed aside from, you know, art stuff and old people S sounds, and, you know, and whispers. So I was exploring, and I actually have a pretty extensive ASMR playlist on YouTube that I curated during that time. And then once that playlist got pretty respectable, I stopped kind of listening to ASMR in that same way. I had established like who my favorite ASMR artists of that time were, and I would check out when they posted new videos. I loved, and I still love to this day, The Water Whispers Ilsa. She's incredible, of course. Maria is Marta, everybody knows her. And you know, I remember like ASMR requests. Those were kind of like the ladies that I had found, and I noticed, and I generally listen to ladies doing ASMR. I don't know really why that is. But so like I said, I had established a pretty good playlist at that point, and I knew who my favorite ASMR artists were, who I would check out when they posted new videos. But for the most part, I kind of transitioned into using ASMR to actually sleep instead of just being excited and watching the videos. I would start the playlist on autoplay way back in the day, you know, before these videos were really monetized, and that's something that you could kind of do, is just let them run and, you know, not have an ad, you know, burst in and wake you up. That being said, I don't have any problem with ASMR artists putting ads on their videos if they put them at the front of their videos, you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense. Anyway, so that's what I would do. I would just kind of play my playlist all the way through, and fall asleep at some point, not really having to stress too much about it. Then I kind of got away from that and kind of transitioned into listening to my favorite ASMR artist of the moment, and like almost exclusively. So for the longest time, that was Grace V. I would just listen to all of her videos like every night. Her unintelligible whispering videos are so great. I adore her style of video, and it's just fantastic, like for me personally, and the triggers that I respond to. So I listened to pretty much exclusively her videos for a long time because it was just like working. And then I found Mia ASMR. I'm not really sure how, but she's like my current, like probably my current favorite, and has been for quite some time. I've kind of been watching Grace's videos along with hers recently, but for the longest time I've really just been watching a lot of Mia ASMR. And then I think in between I was listening to Lioness Whispers because she's my other favorite, and she definitely should have like a lot more subscribers on her channel in my opinion, because she's just so like, she just has this great energy. And I hope that you can't hear my cat kicking around a water bottle cap in the other room. But yeah, so that's kind of how I've transitioned to listening to ASMR at the moment. It's kind of like what I've been doing for a while now. I was just shouting at my cat to get her to stop doing that, in case you guys could hear it. But yeah, so I'm kind of still working on this, but it's building up. I'm probably gonna just do one more round of the forward knit, backward knit, and then I'll go ahead and start doing the regular stitching. And I might do that for a little bit and then just cut off this video because it's almost an hour long. Wow, that's pretty good. Hopefully, Zach, you enjoyed this video, because you're the only person that I know for sure is gonna watch it, and I love you for that. So yeah, I should have mentioned you earlier, dang it. Should have said that right at the very beginning, because hopefully if I'm, you know, worth my 2 shakes of salt at this, then you're already asleep by now. But thank you so much for watching, my very wonderful and fantastic friend Zach, who is encouraging me always to continue posting this content, and hopefully I still will, because this was nice. I mentioned at the beginning of the video that the last time that I tried to film it was super stressful, and I just didn't really want to have that type of vibe when I was filming if I was gonna do it again. So I hope that you guys were able to enjoy this video from my closet, and I hope that the audio wasn't too bad. Definitely let me know if it was, or if there are things that I can do to improve it. What parts of this did you enjoy? Was my bracelet too loud? What do you want to see more of? I know what I'd like to bring to you guys, and hopefully that's something that I can start doing in my next video, because I think this went pretty well today. So I think from here on out I'm just gonna try to move forward with what I really wanted to be doing and start taking this into the direction that I was hoping that it could go. And you know, hopefully it goes well. I think it will. I think it will. I think it will if I just try my best. Anyway, this is a good stopping point in my knitting pattern for me. And that's a good thumbnail. But this is a good stopping point in my knitting pattern for me, because I'll know when I come back to pick this up that I intend to just start on the knit stitch. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. I will go ahead and set this down
this video. I think that's about it. I think we did a pretty good test run today, you guys. By the time I do the next, probably, well, maybe not, but maybe I'll do another one tomorrow night, let's hope. If that's the case, then I won't have the pop filter or the fuzzy mic cover yet, but I'm excited about that. And yeah, I really appreciate anybody who came across this, who watched the video. Hopefully if you enjoyed it, consider subscribing down there, up here, wherever, for more, because hopefully that's something that you would like to see. And yeah, I think that's everything.